Hello everyone and welcome back to more Final Fantasy VII. We are at part 20. In the last part, we had a bit of a doozy, but now Cloud, after Yuffie had to knock him out, Cloud is now laying here with Tifa and Barrett talking about just what exactly happened. Now that we know Sephiroth's mission, where do we go from here? Because now Cloud seems to be very unstable. Aerith is gone, and we don't exactly know what she's doing, and they have no idea where she is. We had that vision. That was probably Aerith using her powers to speak to us. But that also, as Cloud says, shows that Sephiroth knows where she is too. So we got to get there before Sephiroth does. But also, as Cloud says, anytime he's been getting near Sephiroth lately, he fucking loses it. Like, he's very unstable right now. He doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know really, he doesn't know what's happening to him. It's a little spooky, I'm afraid. Yeah. But Tifa and Barrett are trying to convince him, and Barrett's pretty harsh about it. He's like, how many people do you really think understand who they are? Which is a very good point. I really don't think a lot of people legitimately understand who they are. Fully, anyway. Identity is a complicated thing. It's confusing. But they're gonna kind of let Cloud decide what he wants to do on his own from here. Which, that's good. I mean, of course we're gonna go, because I mean we got to find Aerith. I mean, where is she? What's she doing? What's her plan here? Why does she feel so confident that she can stop what Sephiroth's trying to do? Because Sephiroth, basically now, with the black materia, has the power to summon meteor, and he knows where the promised land is, so he just needs to get to the promised land, wherever that is, summon the black materia, or summon meteor, and then, well, that's it. We're fucked. But Cloud is deciding to go with them. He feels, as Barrett puts it, and as you might notice, this is kind of a reference to the beginning of the game, there ain't no getting off of this train that we're on. He says that at the beginning. Cloud does, when they're talking about, how the people in Midgar are kind of stuck where they are. Cloud's like, it's like this train. They can't get off the tracks that they are on. And here I am adjusting material like an idiot until I realize, oh wait, Tifa's the one in the party, not Yuffie. So then I have to go switch her out for Yuffie. Because, we haven't been using Tifa. Look, she's like 6 levels behind. Thankfully, party members, like I said, do level up, even if you aren't using them. They level up behind everyone else, though. Which is done to encourage using everyone, but like I said, for the reasons I kind of already went into, I don't really bother, because characters are kind of, the materia system makes it so characters aren't really separated a whole lot, so there's not really a huge incentive to use a bunch of different party members. To me, it's just kind of like I'm just losing experience, if that makes any sense. But yeah. So now, where we are going, you might notice on the map, there is one major continent that we haven't been to, and that is the northern continent, which is where we are going, because that is where the city of the ancients is. So that's where we're going now. So yeah, it's a fun time. We have to go literally to the opposite side of the overworld map. Always a fun time, and kind of go a roundabout way of getting there. On this very slow, tiny Bronco. God. It's still happening. It's a different day of recording sessions, and it's still happening. Oh boy. The congestion, I mean. But anyways, oh, I love this overworld theme so much. This game really is something special. And this part is going to be a huge indicator as to why. You probably can tell from the title. This part's going to be a little different than the ones before it. and you'll see what... This is the end of Disc 1, like I said. You'll see what I mean soon enough, but this part here is going to be one of the prime examples for why this game is so special, and what makes this game what I think is one of the best RPGs, and one of the best games just ever made. And I know that's a pretty huge statement, but I really think it is. I think this game overall, besides the graphics, besides the presentation, this game really has not aged a day. It holds up so well. But yeah, but first, before we get into the... we have to get to the City of the Ancients, and to do that we have to go through the Sleeping Forest, but the only way we can get through the Sleeping Forest is if we wake it up with a special item called the Lunar Harp, which is hidden, buried underground somewhere in this town. But first we're going to buy some items. Diamond bangles, fancy. This part we're actually going to also get a piece of equipment. I think you can get it here in this part, like in this, but you're not supposed to get it until way later, and it's actually an in-game piece of equipment, so we'll also be getting that. So everyone's getting pretty decked out with equipment. I'm speeding through this again, just so I don't, menuing is not the most interesting thing to watch, is it? So I figured if I speed through it, you can still see kind of the material that I'm putting on to everyone, but it doesn't waste time. If you want to see, the material I have on everyone, you can just slow down the video or pause it, like specifically, or if you don't care and you're just kind of watching this for the story or whatever reason, if you're not playing along, there you go. It's the best of both worlds. Here I am, struggling to get up this ladder because the detection on this ladder is really weird for some reason. I say the presentation is the only thing. I guess that is kind of part of the presentation though, isn't it? It's not really the game, it's programming itself, it's just the presentation makes it weird where the ladder is. Anyways though, this minigame can be a little confusing actually. Basically what happens is you place a bunch of guys down, or as many guys as you want, and then you will set a bomb off, and then all these people will be facing in the direction of wherever what you're looking for is. So right now we're looking for the Lunar Harp, so after I place them all down, we'll set off the bomb, and then they'll be able to sense where it is, and then they'll look in the general direction of where it is. So this is way easier if you have more guys, because it can... If you spread them out like I am here, it really narrows down the spot to basically, so it can only be like one area. So as you can see, there we go. So now I know it's like right around here. I'm trying to line it up perfectly because I don't want to fuck this up and have to do it again, because it just kind of wastes skill. But yeah, and there you go. That's how you do it. Pretty easy. You can also get some like rare items and stuff by doing this minigame. I never really bother personally. You can, like I said, you can get through the game, beat all the super bosses fine without doing stuff like this. So, it's just a fun little diversion. If you want, some more content, excuse me. If you want some more content out of this already pretty fucking meaty game. But yeah. So now we are in that area. Should have looked familiar. That's where we saw Aerith in the vision, so that means we are heading in the right direction. And also here you can get, it's kind of hard to spot, but if you know where to look, you can find it. You can get another summon materia, which is Kujata, which is this big ass boar pig thing, and it's a pretty good summon. So I try to look for it. I'm having trouble spotting it though. See, it kind of moves around all over the place. But just walk around like, eventually you'll run into it, and there you go. Another summon materia, and one that's very easy to miss. And I actually get rid of Odin to replace with Kujata here, because Odin I used more in my other playthroughs. I haven't even showed off Odin. But Odin, instead of doing massive damage to an enemy, it's just a chance of instant killing the enemy, which means sometimes it fails versus, with most random encounters, using an ultra powerful summon that just does a bunch of damage will usually kill them in one hit guaranteed anyway. so I don't really see the point if it's just getting more consistent results by just using a normal summon. But yeah, we got some new enemies here. We're in a new area, so we gotta show them off. You know, they aren't anything too special. But yeah, and I use Yuffie's Limit Break here, forgetting that it's Earth-based, and they're floating in the air, so this is going to do no damage to any of them. So that's a nice waste of a Limit Break, isn't it? But yeah, oh well. It still counts as a use, I'm pretty sure. So we can get her level 2 Limit Break, second level 2 Limit Break here, which we actually get in this part. And then we can move up to the level 3 Limit Break. So that's nice. But yeah, you know, we're just making our way along here. We're going further north, and eventually we will get to the City of the Ancients, which of course, like you know, that is our destination. That's where Aerith is heading, and Sephiroth knows where she is. And like I said in the last part, the end of the last part, why does Sephiroth call, like, he says Cloud, he refers to Cloud and him as we, almost like they're working together or something, like they're allies, like she's going to be a problem for us, we need to do something about it. It's talking about Aerith. That's a little strange. And Cloud's getting manipulated by Sephiroth, clearly, like he's kind of fucking with his head. Why is Sephiroth able to do that? What's going on here? Cloud. Oh, Cloud. We will find out soon enough, and you are not going to like the answer. And this is a great song too. This is the City of the Ancients. Once again, another area in the game that just looks wholly unique. This really looks like an advanced kind of civilization long died out, which is exactly what the Ancients were. But what killed them? Why did they die out? I don't know. Who am I using it on? Barret. There we go. Beautiful. Get Barret some nice stat buffs. Yeah, and I'm exploring kind of around the City of the Ancients. This is an area you aren't required to go to until way later, but here you can get an Aurora armlet, which is a super defensive armlet. Like it has like 70 something defense, and it absorbs all ice damage. So really good. Here I'm just readjusting materia with the new equipment. Beautiful. There we go. Now we can keep moving along. I don't know why. That happened a couple parts ago too. The emulator likes to stutter a bit. It's starting to do that. Didn't do that before. But it's not happening so infrequently. It's not a huge deal. It's not, you know, it's okay. But yeah. For the most part, the emulator I'm using is very good. It does a very good job emulating the game. Pretty much perfectly for the most part. Like I'm not noticing. I have an actual PS1 discs, by the way, in case you're like, oh, piracy. I do own a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII, and I also own it on PS4 and on Switch. So, you know, I think I've given Squaresoft or Square Enix enough of my money. So, you know, I don't feel too bad about emulating it. This is just for recording purposes. Just recording off of my computer is the easiest, and I do not have the Steam version because I have a Mac and not a PC or Windows, so I can't really get the Steam version. So yeah, that's why I'm recording the original PS1 version off of an emulator, and also so we can get the more authentic experience. We can get the original version of the game. Oh, excuse me. The original version of the game with the, you know, the low-res character models, the typos, you know, we get the authentic Final Fantasy VII experience, flaws and all. And I love this game. I don't even love this game despite its flaws. I love this game with its flaws. I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel it. What does he feel? Uh-oh. So they go to sleep for the night. They're like, we'll find Aerith tomorrow. But then Cloud wakes everyone up in the middle of the night and is like, Aerith's here. So is Sephiroth. We gotta hurry. We gotta go. Otherwise something bad's gonna happen unless we go. So now we're going off. And this is another weird glitch that happens on the emulator. Yeah, for some reason, only in this area and at night, there's no like fade to black and then fade to the next pre-rendered background. It's just this hard cut. It's weird. See, when I get to this other area, doesn't do that. Get back to this area, only at night, hard cut. Why? Why, emulator? Why do this? Is that in the original PS1 version? Because I don't think it is. I think that's an emulator thing, but that's very strange. But, oh well. It's okay. It only happens in this area. It's just a little weird thing, like loading in the pre-rendered background, it usually cuts to black, or fades to black, and then fades back in. Not doing that. But anyways, we're heading up this way, and we're gonna hopefully find Aerith before Sephiroth does. Otherwise, you know, we're in trouble. Because Aerith seems to be the only one to have an answer on just how to stop Sephiroth and his plan. Even if we don't really know what that answer is yet. So we gotta do something about this. But yeah, so this is the biggest building in the City of the Ancients, so probably a good place to check, right? Yeah. Ew. Sound, are you okay? Oh, it's fine. I actually had some trouble with sound in this part, recording it for some reason. The audio desynced at multiple points. That was a point where it happened, and I did my best to resync it back together, but it led to that gross thing happening. But other than that, it's okay. Yeah, it desynced at multiple points for some reason while recording it. I have no idea why it happened. It hasn't happened before this, but suddenly for this, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna desync the audio for some reason. Like I said, I did my best to resync it. Apologies if it's like slightly off for the rest of the part, but I think it should be fine. I double checked everything, made sure, you know, it's synced up okay. But anyways, we have this magical staircase down here for some reason, and I'm going to save the game. Definitely save here. Definitely save here. Let me repeat that. If you're playing along and don't know what's about to happen, definitely save here. Oh boy. Anyways, we're gonna make our way up, and as we can see here, Aerith. There's Aerith. Aerith's right there. We found her, and Sephiroth's not here. Yeah, great news. This is awesome. We found her. So maybe now we can actually get an explanation as to what's going on, right? Like why did she felt the need to leave the party? Just like, yeah, what is going on here? But of course, since Sephiroth is close by, Cloud starts losing it. Cloud starts feeling manipulated by him again. He pulls out his sword. Oh no, Cloud, don't you do it. Don't do it, Cloud. And you kind of have control over Cloud in this part, but no matter what you do, he will eventually raise his sword. You're struggling, you're trying to fight against it, but the temptation's becoming too much. And Barret and Yuffie stop Cloud right before, and I'm going to stay quiet for this sequence here. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is pretty much, if you didn't know that was gonna happen, I mean, like, holy shit, right? That is pretty much the Empire Strikes Back, like, I am your father twist of video games. It's so surprising, and it's also heartbreaking, because Aerith was such an upbeat, sassy, likable character, and Sephiroth is talking about this stupid plan still, and Cloud is just like, just shut up, I don't care anymore. Aerith's gone. She's dead. Sephiroth and his plan doesn't mean a thing anymore to Cloud. And Sephiroth is acting like Cloud shouldn't feel anything at all. And he's saying Cloud is pretending. But man, what an incredible moment that is. And the moment, to me, the FMV is pretty shocking, but the moment where it becomes real for me is when it goes back to the actual in-game models, and you see Aerith just collapse. I know pretty much everybody knows about that sequence at this point, but even if you know about it, it's still pretty heartbreaking to watch, because this isn't the first major death of a party member in Final Fantasy. Tella died in 4, like half the party members you get die in 2. Galuf dies in 5. Spoilers for all those games, by the way. But Aerith is different. Aerith, she didn't die for a cause. She didn't die sacrificing herself to save the others. She wasn't this older man that was pushing himself past his limits. Aerith was young. She didn't die accomplishing something. We'll never know what her plan was now, because she failed. Sephiroth killed her. And now we got this boss fight with Jenova. That's actually giving me some shit, but like, Aerith's theme plays all throughout it, and oh man, Aerith's theme is just beautiful and makes the scene so much more heartbreaking. It's such an iconic moment, and it's for a reason. I mean, I can't even imagine. I knew about it. My first playthrough of this game, I knew about Aerith's death. What I didn't know is when it happened. I thought it was going to be an in-game thing. An in-game, like, major moment of like, okay, now we really gotta get Sephiroth now. But this is not the end of Disc 1. This is like the halfway point. That's crazy to throw something like this at you. Like, where do we go from here? What was Aerith's plan? We don't know. We don't know how to stop Sephiroth anymore. Like, how can we go from here? What can we do? And Aerith seemed like one of those characters that had plot immunity. Like, she was the last surviving ancient. She had these special powers. She was so plot important. But no. Sephiroth killed her. That's it. And as you see, Jenova there says that Cloud is a puppet. A puppet. Is that what Sephiroth meant by Cloud shouldn't be feeling anything? And oh, Barrett holding on, like grabbing Cloud's shoulder, just kind of giving him that look. Oh, that hurts. And Yuffie here, clearly holding back tears here. Eventually, she just loses it. Oh, God. Oh, it's heartbreaking. And just seeing, like I said, she's gone. Like, that's it. Well, there's no bringing her back. It's not like Chrono Trigger. Spoilers for Chrono Trigger. When Chrono dies, you end up being able to bring him back. There's nothing of the sort in this game. She's gone. She's out of the party. She died in vain. She died tragically. And man, that hurts. For such a likable character to go out like that, that hurts. And as Cloud kind of gives one final goodbye as he lays the body to rest in this small body of water. And like I said, it just hurts. It hurts. This scene still has power, even all these years later, even after everyone knows about it. This scene is still so powerful, and now you know why this part is called Big Sad. Yeah. I mean, where does the story go from here? That was my question when I got to this point. Like I said, I knew about the death, but I didn't know when it happened, so I was thinking like, we're just finishing disc 1. Where does the story go from here? And Cloud now kind of just wants to give up. I don't blame him. I would kind of want to give up after that too. Like, he doesn't even know, he loses it every time Sephiroth is around. What is he supposed to do? And yeah, that's a very good point. What are you supposed to do? But Cloud eventually comes to a resolve of like, I need to stop Sephiroth from doing this. It's now not only, it's always been a personal thing for Cloud to stop Sephiroth after what Sephiroth did to his hometown, but now it's ultra personal after Aerith. And Cloud needs to settle the score. He needs to stop Sephiroth, not only to save the world, but for his own personal sake. And that is a plot element that we will explore more in Disc 2. But man, what a way to end Disc 1. And as Cloud says, their goal is to just get the black materia away from Sephiroth. So that's the end of Disc 1. What a way to go out. Like, shit. Wow. But anyways, that's going to do it for this part. Thank you guys for watching, and we will continue on this crazy journey next time for more Final Fantasy VII.